elasticity on a demand curve. This is where people kind of get confused, but I will explain it to you with very simple examples. Like, I won't use much numbers. For elasticity on a demand curve, I will go on to explain how the elasticity of demand differs along the demand curve. Like, there is demand curve and the elasticity demand differs along the demand curve. There are many videos calculating the elasticity of demand along the demand curve with numbers, with calculations, but I know calculations is boring, it's math, so I'm going to explain it with less numbers, with more logic so you can understand it. In AP, they won't ask you to draw a demand curve based on this formula. They will never do that. They might be asking you on the IB, but not AP. So if you plot a demand curve like this, quantity and price of a pie will look like this. But never mind, you don't have to do this. What you have to know is this graph. If you plot that table into a graph, it will look like this. And just as I said, I'm going to explain why the elasticity of demand is elastic on the upper side of the demand curve and why the elasticity of demand is inelastic on the lower side of the demand curve. As you know, the upper side of the demand curve, price is higher than here. So like $6, $5 goes here. So upper part of the demand curve, I will explain. So beef is really expensive in Korea. Like a Korean beef is really expensive. Sometimes I want to kind of live in Australia. We're not eating the Korean cows because I need to be rich to eat beef in Korea. If I wanted to eat as much Korean beef as I wanted at a restaurant, it would cost me like $80, which is bad. Let's say that they have a 50% sale. Oh God, I would be having beef for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For every beefy meal, I would think that I'm getting a 40% bargain. So I will eat a lot of beef. This means when the price is high, you are more sensitive to price change, which means that you are elastic to price change. And here on this part, the upper part of the demand curve, the price is higher. Now let's look at the lower part of the demand curve. Take something really cheap, like an orbeez. For example, I got these orbeez from AliExpress, which I don't know what I got them, but they're pretty. And I have another color. These are orbeez and they're really cheap. They're like 10 cents for one orbeez. Oh, it's broken. Yeah, enough with playing with orbeez. So it costs like 10 cents on AliExpress for this one orbeez, and if I get a 50% sale, there would be like 5 cents. Would I buy twice as much or more orbeez just because it's 50% on sale? Like 5 cents sale isn't going to affect me that much as like the 40% off the beef. So 40% of $80 would be $32. That's a big amount of price change. But 50% of the price of orbeez is only like 5 cents. So it's not going to affect my quantity demanded that much. So here at the bottom of the demand curve, the prices are going to be lower. That's why its elasticity of demand is going to be more inelastic than the upper part of the demand curve. To make sure that you understand properly, I will explain with numbers a little bit. Elasticity at the top of the graph, the price change from $5 to $4 here is like 20% change. Price change from $5 to $4. That's a 20% change. Percentage of price change is 20%. Percentage of quantity change from $5 to $4 is now cheaper from quantity 1 to quantity 2. That's 100% change. So percentage change of price goes at the bottom. So there's 20 and 100. So that makes a 5. It's elastic. And let's look at this one. The bottom of the graph. When the price is low, then look at the price change from $2 to $1. Percentage of price change is from $2 to $1. That's a 50% change. How much has the quantity demanded changed? From 4 to 5, that gives you a 25% change in quantity demanded. And you put it in the equation, that gives you 25 over 50. That's a half. Elasticity of demand, which is smaller than 1, is inelastic. Because it's in percentage change forms, along the demand curve, the elasticity of demand actually changes. This part in the middle is also 1, is unit elastic. We'll see. From price 3 to 2, percentage change in price from $3 to $2, that is 33.33 something percent. Percentage change in quantity demanded would be 3 to 4. That is also 33.33%. That gives you 1 for elasticity of demand, and that is unit elastic. So if the question asks you whether this upper part of the demand curve is elastic or inelastic, you have to say this upper part is elastic. It's elastic because the more expensive the good is, the more sensitive to price you will be.